So there I was, sitting in the pews of the church, listening to the echo of the most outrageous gossip about Mary. The whispers were as palpable as the incense in the air. Mary, the church's own prodigal daughter, had suddenly become the town's most scandalous subject of hearsay. A whirling tempest of rumors clung to her name like a shroud, each more extravagant than the last. Pregnancy, running away, a life of petty crime, even public nudity, and a penchant for the bottle. Every pew was a hotbed of speculation, each huddled congregation member adding their own spicy ingredient to this communal stew of scandal. The church, once a sanctuary of peace and harmony, had transformed into a veritable gossip mill, grinding out wild tales with an insatiable appetite. Meanwhile, in the eye of this storm, we find Eric and Annie, Mary's parents, in the confines of Eric's office. They were wrestling with a decision made incredibly tough by the swirling maelstrom of rumors. They were contemplating sending Mary away, far from the wagging tongues and prying eyes, to the safe haven of Colonel and Grandma Ruth in Buffalo. A drastic measure, yes, but one they believed necessary for Mary's safety. But even within the supposed sanctity of Eric's office, the gossip found its way in. They overheard a couple of women, their voices hushed, but their words cutting through the silence like a knife, spinning their own fantastical versions of Mary's story. It was like a morbid game of Chinese whispers, each retelling more dramatic than the last, each rumor further from the truth. Yet, through it all, Eric and Annie stood firm. They knew the truth about their daughter, and they knew what they had to do. No amount of gossip, no matter how wild or how widespread, could shake their resolve. They were prepared to weather this storm, for Mary's sake. And as the church bells tolled, the gossip mill was just getting started. Now if you think that was juicy, just wait until you hear about the woman in the wedding dress. Picture this: Matt, the ever-charming eldest Camden son, stepping out to catch a breath of fresh air. His eyes catch a vision of beauty, a woman in a wedding dress emerging from a limo. She's as stunning as a sunrise, and Matt, well, he's as tongue-tied as a schoolboy. He musters up the courage to give her directions to St. Monica's church, but his heart is pounding like a drum. You can't help but chuckle at the sight of our usually composed Matt, tripping over his words and his own feet. But alas, before he can even ask for her name, the mysterious bride is gone, leaving our hero with nothing more than a memory and a rapidly beating heart. So our hero Matt is left standing, heart aflutter, without even a name to his newfound crush. Meanwhile, back at the food stand, Lucy and Ruthie were having their own encounter with the gossip brigade. The sisters were serving up more than just food, they were dishing out a hearty portion of truth to a couple of curious teenage girls. "Why did Mary leave?" the girls asked, their eyes wide with curiosity and a hunger for scandal. Lucy, with the grace of a diplomat, explained that it was a personal matter, a private family affair. "But is she pregnant?" the girls persisted, leaning in with expressions of anticipation. Lucy, ever the voice of reason, reminded them that gossip was nothing more than an ugly game of whispers and rumors. And in this game, the truth often loses. Ruthie, the youngest of the clan, chimed in, "Is Mary pregnant?" she asked her older sister with a puzzled look on her face. Lucy, ever patient, reiterated that it was all just gossip. Ruthie nodded, her young mind working to process the concept of rumor versus reality. Just around the corner, Simon was getting a crash course in the power of a bad girl reputation from his friend Luke. "You should use Mary's reputation to your advantage," Luke suggested, a mischievous glint in his eye. "Meet girls." Simon was skeptical, but Luke was persuasive. "Look at those girls over there. They think you're bad because of Mary." Simon was surprised. "Why would they think that?" he asked, a bit bewildered. "Because I told them," Luke confessed, pointing out the Murphy twins. In the world of high school, where reputations can make or break you, Simon found himself at the center of attention, all thanks to Mary's sudden notoriety. As he pondered over this unexpected turn of events, he couldn't help but wonder, who knew being bad could be so beneficial? As the evening rolled around, Annie was getting ready for a night out, but Eric had other ideas. He was concerned, you see. The family's reputation was hanging by a thread thanks to the gossip mill working overtime. He tried to appeal to Annie, urging her to reconsider her plans. "The town's tongues are already wagging, Annie," he cautioned. "A night out might just fuel the fire." But Annie, ever the defiant one, was having none of it. "I'm not going to hide away just because of idle gossip," she declared, her voice ringing with determination. She had a point, didn't she? After all, why should she let the whispers and rumors dictate her life? Eric could only sigh, his concerns falling on deaf ears. He knew when he was beaten, so off Annie went, leaving a worried Eric strumming his guitar and pondering the perils of gossip. The next morning, Ruthie decided to take matters into her own hands. Our little heroine had decided to be the author of her own narrative, and boy did she have a wild imagination. She took a page out of the Book of Tall Tales and began to weave stories about her family that would make the Brothers Grimm scratch their heads in bewilderment. In Ruthie's world, Lucy was not just her older sister, but a character of resilience, overcoming a mountain of disabilities. She painted Simon, her brother, as a silent protagonist, a mime in the cacophony of life, who couldn't utter a single word. Her elder brother Matt was not just hanging around the pool hall, but was serving time behind bars. And if you thought that was enough, hold on to your seats because Ruthie was just getting started. In her tale, Eric, her father, was a jobless man strumming his guitar and singing away his woes. And Annie, her mother, was not the loving, nurturing figure we know, but a woman who had succumbed to the allure of the bottle, drinking away her days. Ruthie's tales were not just tall, but they towered over the truth, casting a shadow so large that it was almost impossible to see the reality beneath. But Ruthie was not creating these stories out of malice or for entertainment. No, she was a little girl trying to protect her sister from the hurtful gossip that had plagued their family. In her innocence, she thought she could divert attention from Mary by creating a more tantalizing narrative. And you have to admit, it was quite a clever strategy, misguided as it may have been. So she approached her principal, her voice a whisper, as she shared these fabricated tales, ending with a plea for sympathy. "Do you feel sorry for my family now?" she asked, advising her to spread the stories around. And with that, Ruthie had spun a web of tales that would make even the most seasoned gossip blush. As the dust settled, Eric and Annie found themselves in the eye of the gossip storm. The rumors had taken on a life of their own, spinning tales so elaborate they could have been plucked from the pages of a dime store novel. Mary's sudden absence had become the fodder for endless speculation, with whispers of pregnancy, delinquency, and even jail time making the rounds. Yet amidst the whirlwind of hearsay, Eric and Annie remained a beacon of resilience. Unfazed by the judgmental glances and the hushed conversations, they stood steadfast, their commitment to each other and their family unwavering. Although the rumors had attempted to tarnish their reputation, they refused to let the gossip define them. Instead, they chose to focus on what truly mattered, their family. The impact of the gossip was palpable, but it did not shake the Camdens' resolve. They bore the brunt of the rumors with grace and dignity, choosing to weather the storm together. They understood that the truth was their strongest ally and that, in time, the rumors would be revealed for what they were, baseless and unfounded. Eric, with his guitar and Rick Nelson songs, found solace in the chords and lyrics. His music was his refuge, a private sanctuary where he could escape the whispers and innuendos. Annie, on the other hand, found comfort in the routine of preparing meals, her culinary creations serving as a symbol of normalcy amidst the chaos. Yet, even as they navigated through the aftermath of the gossip, there was a sense of anticipation in the air, a sense that this was not the end of the story, that the rumor mill would continue to churn out tales as long as there was an audience to listen. And so, amidst the strumming of a guitar and the sizzling of a lunch in preparation, our tale of gossip and rumors comes to an end. Or does it? Just when you thought things couldn't get any juicier, the school dance arrived and with it, a whole new set of rumors. The town was abuzz with excitement as Simon and his friend managed to score dates with the elusive Murphy girls, played by none other than the Olsen twins. The news spread like wildfire, causing a stir and sparking off a flurry of whispers and conjectures. In the midst of this, Mike took it upon himself to guide Lucy, teaching her how to handle the swirling vortex of gossip surrounding her. He imparted words of wisdom, reminding her to stay true to herself and not get swayed by the nattering chatter of the town folks. And then there was Matt. If there was ever a fuel to the gossip fire, it was Matt's unexpected rendezvous with a model. The news spread faster than a California wildfire, igniting a fresh round of speculation and hearsay. And as the night ended, the gossip mill was in full swing, churning out tales faster than Matt could say model. The town was alive with whispers, each more intriguing than the last. The dance may have ended, but the gossip? Well, that was just getting started. As the Camdens would soon find out, the story was far from over. Now isn't that a life lesson to remember?